in bench points, 27-6. We're now joined by head coach Nate Champion on the Wegmans postgame show in the Coach's Corner, brought to you by McNeil and Company. And Coach, first time since December, you've won back-to-back games. Only the first time all year you've won back-to-back games against Division I opponents. They were both exciting games. And in this one, unusual for Moyne that they came back from behind. They were down 8 late in the first half, scored the last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half, and then led most of the way in the second half. Much easier to win a game, I think, when you're leading and holding off a team than trying to go uphill pushing that rock.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought, the first half, honestly, in both games this week, we didn't shoot the ball very well, especially from 3. And we kept talking about how, if we just continue to do the right things and we don't focus on the offensive end, right? Focus on doing the right stuff on offense. Don't worry about the result all the time. And you just focus on defense, right? Defense is going to help you win, the game. And that's what we did. I thought, obviously in the second half, late in the second half, they started hitting shots and things like that. But I thought we did a good job of kind of taking them away from things, especially when we built our lead up in the second half. And we just have to continue to focus on that end. I thought we had too many turnovers, but, I thought we hit some timely shots and came up with some timely stops too.
Well, there were a lot of turnovers, but from the point the game was tied at 65, Moyne only had 1 turnover the rest of the way. So when it mattered, the Dolphins took care of the ball.
Yeah, and I thought the quality of shot that we got was really good. At the end there, we call a timeout. I think we were up 4 or whatever it was, but we get the high-low pass to Dwayne, and that was just really good execution out of the timeout.
Garang threw it?
No, it was actually Fouts.
Oh, that was Fouts on that one, yeah.
So it was a good kind of one of those things where you keep it in your back pocket. You can't kind of see it a little bit, and something that we saw on film from the last time we played them, just the way they guarded that action. We thought there was a way to get a mismatch, and we tried to hold off as long as I could, but I thought it was a great time to do it, and our guys executed perfectly.
So, want to talk about some individual efforts here today. Den Garang's second straight game with a career-high 15 points, 3 of 4 from the three-point line again, and he seems to hit big ones when you need them, and just elevates the team spirit. And this is a kid that just does everything. They didn't credit him with a block shot. I thought he had one today, but he deflects passes. He gets rebounds. He steals, assists. I mean, the guy's just been amazing for you.
And his defense on Spinelli was
fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Dang's just Dang. You tell him to go do something, and he does it. And the one thing I like is he never I guess buys into the noise, right? Like, he worked so hard to get here. He continues to work hard, and I know he'll continue to work even harder as he continues to play. And it's a learning experience for him. Like, there is a lot of things that are being thrown at him that he's never seen before, obviously, at the college level. One of the things, though, that you see are his instincts on the floor. I know there was a play late in the second half. They ran a double back screen, and Darrick got hit on the back screen initially, and I thought he was open, and they threw it to him, and Dang helped over and stole it.
Oh, the steal, yeah.
And that's a high IQ play, and not something that you see every day as far as a defender. And he just did a great job of stepping over and getting the steal. So I'm really proud of him. He just continues to play hard, and he'll continue to get better.
And this is a kid that coming into this game had just over 100 minutes of court time in games, and a lot of those were against Division IIIs or at the end of games that didn't matter. But now that you're giving him moments in big games, in big stretches, he's coming through for you, and not to just to focus on him, but all 5 of your starters finished in double figures. They all put something out there. I want to focus a little bit on Nate Fouts too. Here's a guy that in the first half couldn't buy a shot, and he was open, missed 5 3-pointers, and looked a little dejected, but in the second half he scored all but 2 of his points and was finishing really well and doing other things well too.
Yeah, it was just good adjustments. I mean, we kind of talked about it at halftime. Like, I thought we were affected a little bit because they blocked some shots early, right? We went to the rim, and they blocked our shot. And I told him, I said, just when you get in there, they're athletic. We know they're big, they're strong, they're athletic. Use a shot fake. Like, we have good balance. We have good balance. just use your shot fake.
Get him in the
Nate
air.
did that twice and
Yep.
drew the foul.
Yes.
Looked really good.
Yep, and then
Karoma.
Yeah, and Dwayne Karoma did a good job of using the shot fake. We had Robbie, who drove in one time, landed on two, and had it dump down to Fouts. And I thought we just did a better job of being more aware of where like help defense was coming from and things like that. And it's not an easy team to score 80 points on. Like, they're a pretty good defensive team just with their size and athleticism. And there weren't many foul calls in the first half either.
Right.
You know, so I thought our guys bought into a little bit of, you know, worrying about the fouls. And we said at halftime, I said, I'm not going to say anything. You don't say anything. Just play ball. And that's what they came out and did. And you know, I'm really proud of the way our guys responded from the 5-game losing streak to coming back and getting 2 in a row.
Go ahead.
I was going to say one more thing. Dwayne Karoma, a little bit of a shaky start today offensively, but went crazy in the second half and had his 5th double-double of the season, 14 and 13.
It's a lot easier to get double-double when you are at halftime at 10.
Yes, that's true.
You know, so
that's true.
You only have to worry. You know, there's only one other thing that has to happen. So, and we know, like Dwayne knows, just staying, you know, pretty poised with, you know, our offense. He understands there's going to be times where he gets easy ones, and there's other times where, you know, it may be a little bit of a grind, and like it was in the first half. But I thought one of the things that I've seen from our group from last week, even though we didn't get the results to this week, is we just continue to try and figure it out, right? There wasn't like, yes, we can get frustrated. Yes, we understand, you know, it's not always going to be pretty, but you continue to just grind and figure it out. And when you do that, things happen a lot easier, because when you find success, now all of a sudden you go to it over and over, and it's taken you that long to get that, so you don't want to give it up. And I think we did a good job of it again today.
Also want to mention Darrick Jones Jr., 2 threes at a really important time in the game when the defense seemed to be failing. He hit 2 threes to keep the game close in the first half.
Oh, Darrick's awesome. I mean, you know, he's had a great attitude and has came to work every single day. He continues to shoot. He continues to rep things out. And you see it today, like the work goes, you know, hand in hand with the result. So I'm really proud of Darrick. I'm really proud of the way he played today. And those threes were really big. They were really big. So, you know, he just has to continue to work, continue to do the right stuff, and he'll continue to get good results.
Speaking of big threes, A.J. Dancler hit 4 out of 5 in the second half, and your team was 8 of 13 in the second half from behind the three-point line, and he was the instigator. How about that killer dagger 3 when they were trying to get a stop, and he hit that one to put you up 3 possessions in 30 seconds left?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, putting as much confidence as you can in your players. I mean, he hits that, but Dang hits 2 really big ones in the second half. Yep. And you know, one of them was the corner 3 that we had. It was pretty open. Robbie hit a corner 3 that was open as well. And the thing with those guys is, like, they're guys that show up every day, you know, and I can't say it enough. Like, the work is just an exact replica of the results that they're getting. They come in, they work hard every single day, and eventually you're going to get the right results.
It was a team effort. The team played great. 80-75, and again, back-to-back wins, something you build on. And then you get 2 more home games next weekend, teams that you lost to on the road that, you know, maybe this starts to build into something.
Well, we got absolutely destroyed the first game in the rebounding category today, and we out-rebounded by 10, and a lot of that has to do with your defense. So
and also your will to grab those boards, because so much of rebounding is positioning, but also the will and desire to get the board. One other thing to mention, first time in 17 games this year that Moyne was down at the half and won the game. So congratulations on turning it around in the second half when, you know, staring at adversity here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's just I just keep fighting, and that's what we need.
Thank you, Coach, for stopping by. That's Coach Nate Champion in the Coach's Corner, courtesy of McNeil & Company. We are who we insure. We're going to take one quick time out and then be back with our Star of the Game interview and our Brooklyn Pickle Sub of the Game as the Dolphins win it 80-75 over Chicago State. This is Dolphins basketball on the Moyne College Broadcast Network. Back on the Wegmans postgame show where the Dolphins defeat Chicago State by the score of 80-75. We are now joined by our Wegmans Star of the Game. He had 19 points after a slow start, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 5 of 9 from the three-point line, including 4 out of 5 in the second half, including the dagger that put Lemoyne up 7 with less than a minute to go. And it's A.J. Dancler out of Indianapolis, the sophomore. And this was your 11th straight game in double figures. Are you feeling more and more comfortable in the college game, Division I, and in just the rhythm of the grind of Division I basketball?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the season, that's something that I really kind of struggled with, was really just my overall confidence. So I feel like this second half of the season, I've been doing a way better job of just, going out there and really just telling myself that nobody, can stay in front of me, nobody can stop me. And then I think that really boosted my confidence a lot.
Well, you're also now Lemoyne's starting point guard. You're not a 2.
Yeah.
You are handling the ball as well. The ball's in your hand a lot. But for some reason, it seems like you are a second-half man. Like, that has been your half. Is there something to that? You're just kind of waiting for the game to come to you, or is it just kind of fall into place that way?
I'm not sure. Coming out the game, obviously, they're on me hard. They trapping some ball screens. So, it's kind of hard for me to get going. So I try to, feed off my teammates' energy. But second half, once I just let it come to me, they kind of, relax on the defensive end. So I'm getting way easier shots. So just knocking them down.
Yeah, you've just been taking over games in the second half.
By the way, you needed 11 points today to get to 500 for your career. You passed that 500 mark. Dwayne Caroma passed the 700 mark. So right now, the end of your sophomore year, and with all expectations being that you're going to get better each year, you have a chance to be one of the all-time leading scorers here at Lemoyne. Is that something that you even think of in the back of your head, or is it just focused on this year?
Honestly, I didn't even know I was over 500.
You are now.
That's cool. But, of course, I was a leading scorer, at my high school. So that's something really cool. I would love to be, one of the leading scorers at Lemoyne, following, Coach Champ's footsteps.
You mentioned Coach Champion. I know he was a guy that was on you early in your high school career. He loved you. He's a Hoosier like you, and wanted you here. So what's the relationship been like between you and him? I know he trusts you supremely with the basketball, and is giving you carte blanche to do, whatever you need to do on the court. What's your relationship like with him? Give us a little insight.
I think my relationship with Coach Champ is, it's more than just basketball. We talk outside of basketball. Before the season, he came out, flew all the way to Indiana, had a lunch with me and my family. So, just little things like that I really appreciate about him. I think we really bond on the court and off the court.
So you have to at least catch him in the scoring department. How many? Nate was a 1,000-point scorer.
He had
right?
over 1,000 points. Not a lot after. I think 1,100 or 1,200. I got to check that out. I don't know.
Okay. There's a target right there for you.
Yeah. I'm coming.
So just one last question about the course of the season. You've had some rough games on the road as a team.
Yeah.
The defense hasn't been great. It's been better lately. Now that you've won back-to-back games for the first time against Division I teams all year, and you got 2 more home games coming up, are you guys starting to think about, now you're tied for third or for the 7th place. Out of the last 3 teams are all 4-8 now in the league, and if St. Francis loses today, those 4 teams are all tied in the loss column. You have a chance to start moving up that ladder. Is that something you guys think about, or are you just thinking next game?
Yeah, I mean, we know we didn't start off conference play how we should have, but honestly, we just looking at the next game, every game, we still in it. 8 teams make it, and Mercyhurst's not eligible, so we know that. We know we're not going to be our best until playoff time, so honestly, we're just going game by game, just going out with our all. So.
Well, game by game, you've been terrific.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you.
Your last 11 games,
Thanks,
you are averaging now, if I can find these numbers here, in your last 11 games, you're averaging 19.6 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists. That's tremendous stuff. You're now second in the league in scoring, second in assists. First team all-conference type numbers right there.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
it up, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
That's A.J. Dancler, the sophomore from Indianapolis, who is our Wegman star of the game. Order delicious, freshly prepared meals to go, whether by delivery, carry-out, or curbside pickup. Enjoy meals to go only at Wegmans. So another great effort by the Lemoyne Dolphins today as they win their second in a row. They improved to 4-8 in league play, 9-18 overall, and they are 6-5 now, over 500 at home for the first time since early on. Chicago State drops to 4-23, 4-8 in league play, and those numbers are a little deceiving because you can watch Chicago State and you know they're not a 4-23 team. They're much more talented than that.
No, they played a very, very tough out-of-conference schedule.
Yes, they did.
Really tough.
Yep, and they are 1-16 on the road to wrap that up. So now we are joined by our Brooklyn Pickles sub of the game, and today was a no-brainer as Darrick Jones Jr. Since going into the onto the bench, you've embraced that role as being like the 6th sixth man that comes in and can knock down shots like an assassin. And you did that today. Don brought up the fact that, when Lemoyne's offense was staggering in the first half.
And the defense as well. We were
Right.
not stopping them. You hit 2 big threes to keep us in it, to keep the game close until our defense could kind of get their feet underneath them again.
Yeah.
I always say to Crystal, when you're playing a team that's hitting shots, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it except to answer them.
That's
And
true.
you did that.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So your thoughts on being that guy that can pull the trigger and give Lemoyne instant points?
Well, I mean, me and Coach Champ obviously had to talk. I told him that I'll do whatever it takes to help the team win. No matter if it comes off the bench, play defense for 10 minutes straight, 2 minutes straight, whatever I need to do. So just execute the game plan. Mostly, I think everything was just on the defensive side today. So that opened everything up. Else on the offensive side, getting open shots. So that helped out a lot.
That's winning basketball, and
winning
winning. That's team basketball too. So I want to congratulate you for being a team player. And so coming off the bench, what's it like in your mindset? Is it different to prepare for the game, knowing that you're not going to be on the floor at the beginning of the game, but got to be ready to jump in there?
I think it's all the same, to be honest, because, I feel like if you come off the bench, you can play the same amount of minutes as somebody who started the game, to be honest. So, I feel like, just going there with the same mindset, just with the same game plan, and everything will be all right.
I just thought of something. We could make a comparison to a man who was here just Thursday night. There was a lefty that Lemoyne had the year they won the regional and went to the NCAA Elite Eight as a Division II team, Taekwon Roland, who embraced the role of being the sixth man early in the season. Head coach Patrick Beeline said, hey, you know what? We really could use you to come off the bench and give us some instant offense. And he became Lemoyne's leading scorer, and he wound up being a key man, hit a big shot from that right wing right there to help Lemoyne to win, knock off Bloomfield in the Sweet 16 and go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And Taekwon Roland was as clutch as you could get.
Yeah.
And you are the type of guy that filling that role. You're a veteran guy, a lefty, and you can shoot the three, just like Taekwon.
I actually spoke to Taekwon a couple of times.
Okay.
He actually, just talked to me. I worked out with him a couple of times before. He's a good guy. I always open ears for him and just, hearing how his experience went here. So I'm, real grateful for him.
So I need to ask, you're one of the long-term guys here at Lemoyne, right? You've been here, let's see.
He's the only player on the roster that played Division II ball with Lemoyne. Nate Fouts was on the roster, but was redshirted.
Right.
You're the only guy that played D2 basketball for Lemoyne.
Yeah.
But from our eyes, at least, your game seems to have changed. When you first came in, you were just an incredible athlete attacking the rim. But as the years have gone on, you've become a really good three-point shooter. Have you had to make adjustments to your game, maybe because of the injuries you've had, or is this just a natural progression of adding things to your arsenal?
I think it's a natural progression. I feel like coming here, we play into a system where I feel like it allows me to, do different things in my game, and was just shooting the ball. So, before I came here, I wasn't, the best shooter, but coming here and run our flow offense, it gives me open shots, and that's all I've been working on. So it turned out good for me, I think. So I like it so far.
So how far can this team go? You're starting to put some games together. Even the 4 road losses the last 2 weekends, there were signs in those games that the things were turning around. You had comebacks. You were close in some of them. You had a chance to win at Mercyhurst on a Nate Fouts three-pointer, at least go up in the final seconds. And then you come home and you've won 2 really close games against the defending league champs and against a team, Chicago State, that's very physical and much better than their record. Looking forward now, you got a couple more home games and then 2 more on the road. Do you think you guys can do what Wagner did last year and come from a lower seed and possibly, win the tournament?
Absolutely. I absolutely think we can. I think if we stay where our feet are, everything with us, it starts on the defensive end. So we just come out, punch first on defense. Everything else will take care of itself on the offensive end.
Well, the defense has definitely gotten a lot better lately. Darrick Jones Jr., thank you for another wonderful game.
Appreciate
Always
that.
a pleasure to see you and your family at the games.
Yes, sir.
Darrick Jones Jr. out of I was going to say Towson, Maryland, but that's where he went to school to start at Towson. He's from Richmond, Virginia. He is our Brooklyn Pickle sub of the game and was the best sub on the court. For the best subs off the court, head to the Brooklyn Pickle with locations on Burnett Avenue on the east side, West Genesee Street on the west side, Buckley Road in Liverpool, and State Street in Utica. Lemoyne wins at 80-75 over Chicago State, and we'll take our final time out and come back and go through our final awards and tell you about the next game before we send it on over to Chicago and Tim McCaffrey for the women's game. This is Dolphins basketball on the Lemoyne College Broadcast Network.